I am the Community Outreach Coordinator at Cedarhurst of Bethalto. We of course have locations in Edwardsville and Collinsville and Shiloh and Naperville and Jacksonville, and we're popping up all over the place. Our new one is in Greenville, and Ruth's House in Edwardsville just opened too. So that's just kind of the nitty-gritty stuff of our company as a whole. As far as where we are, we have about 5 more locations opening up, including ourselves, by the end of this year. And they have plans for a lot more. However, we still operate like a small company. We're still very personal. We try to keep it not super corporate. I can call up our president on his cell phone and he'll answer and just have a casual chat. So it's not like we're detached from each other like a lot of larger senior living companies, which some I actually came from. This is my first position in senior living on this side of the river. Not my first position ever. I've been in the field for a while. By trade, I am not a marketer. This is actually my first marketing position, but I'm a music therapist by trade, and also my master's is in gerontology. So the senior population are my people. I understand them, and I've only worked with the senior population. So that's truly what my passion is and what everybody on our team's passion is. Our building in particular, it is, if you've driven by it, everybody says it's big. It is. It's 63,000 square feet. It's all on one level. We have assisted living and memory care, 50 assisted living apartments, and we have 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 1 bath, and 2 bedroom, 2 bath. We don't call them beds because we're not skilled nursing. We're not a nursing home. We are a place that has apartments for seniors to live that need a little bit more assistance in the assisted living side. On our memory care side, we have 18 apartments, and some of them are shared. Some of them are Jack and Jill suites that share a bathroom, and we also have our private studios. So we have, varied apartments that'll suit the needs of many different people. On that side, we have 18 apartments, and since some of them are shared, we can have a capacity of 26 residents on that side. Cedarhurst is trained by the Alzheimer's Association, so everybody knows what they need to know in order to care for the memory care residents. As well, on top of that, most of the people that are on our team, including our executive director, has either long-standing experience working with the population, or they actually have gone to school, like myself, for working with the population. My personal experience, other than my education, is I've started working in hospice in St. Louis. So I was a full-time music therapist for Seasons Hospice and Palliative Care. Then I went over to Brookdale in West County. Still living in Edwardsville, so I commuted over there. But I was a non-clinical manager of their memory care unit over there. So I know what it's like to have the hands-on, being with the residents all day, every day, and so we call it being in the trenches, sort of, because there's positions that don't get that firsthand, and then there's some that do, like my previous positions. So another thing that I'm going to be doing, other than the community outreach for Bethalto, is I'm also heading our life enrichment, our programming. That's where a lot of my passion comes from, and being a music therapist, that's where a lot of my expertise comes into play. Making sure that the activities that we do in the life enrichment is individually suited to all of our residents on both the assisted living side and the memory care side, that addresses everything that makes a person, including, you know, their social needs, their spiritual, their physical, so doing exercise every morning after breakfast. I think that's really important, because one of our main goals at Cedarhurst is also to keep our residents where they were when they came in, you know, physically and cognitively, when they came into our building, if not improve upon their flexibility, or, you know, what they can do for themselves, you know, keeping up their autonomy, and that translates into maintaining their dignity. So that's why I say we're not skilled nursing. We're not, because we're not, and we're not a nursing home, because that's a big fear for people coming into senior living, is they're gonna come in and they're gonna see people sitting in wheelchairs with their heads down, not doing anything, and they sit there all day. That's not what we do. That's not what Cedarhurst is, and that's not what people like myself will allow to happen. So, I would say that what really makes Cedarhurst different from any other senior livings or assisted livings or independence or memory cares that you've maybe experienced or you've been in is the people providing the care, like myself, that are very, very educated and very, very passionate. Everything that we do is based upon the individual resident, their likes and their dislikes, what makes them who they are, and especially in the memory care side, what makes them who they were before they were diagnosed with their memory disease, whether it's Alzheimer's or dementia. So you would know, and then anybody that you would recommend to come to live at Cedarhurst would know that they are being cared for by highly trained people that know how to care for somebody with memory impairments. So I'm trying to think of other things that
Yeah. Where in Bethalto is it located?
we are at 903 North Moreland. It's closer to the end where Morrow Road is. We're right past First Baptist Church on the same side of the road. Also in our building, I've got pictures that I brought if you would like to see what our building is actually going to look like, because our Jacksonville building that is already open is exactly like our building. The memory care is just on the other side. We also have a pond in the, I call it a pond, other people call it a lake. I don't think it's big enough to be a lake, but you know, that's just a matter of perspective. We have a catch and release pond in the back, so it's going to be stocked with fish, with a deck that you can sit out on over it. So our residents can go out there and fish, and if they like to do that, we'll have raised garden beds with vegetables and flowers, so that our residents, if they were gardeners, can do that at their will. We'll also have a walking path around the pond. Just a lot of wonderful outdoor space, because that is really important to keeping somebody, you know, feeling happy and joyful and feeling like themselves. So if you see in the pictures, we also have all of our common areas have skylights, because natural light is really important to somebody maintaining their mood just naturally. So we just want it to be a beautiful, open, airy, lit space that people will enjoy being in.
What kind of requirements does someone have to have in order to move in?
Well, we are private pay, so we don't take Medicare or Medicaid, but we do take long-term care insurance and VA benefits. So anybody, especially on the assisted living side, if they are able to be cared for just by one person assisting them, they would be able to live in our building.
So if it came with a walker, they could come in?
Walkers, wheelchairs, electric scooters, or electric wheelchairs are allowed as well. We also are pet friendly. So, but for one pet, we've had requests for multiple cats before. So we say, you know, it's hard to tell somebody you have to choose between your cats. So, but we are pet friendly as long as the resident can take care of the pet themselves. That includes birds and I'm not sure about snakes, but we haven't encountered that yet. But hey, you know, there's still time.